Hey guys, it's Jasma, and today we're going to make an apple ginger bundt cake. This cake is perfect for the fall time since apples are currently in season, and with ginger and lots of different spices going on, it's really nice to eat while it's getting a little bit cold out. This cake is also really great to make for Thanksgiving, which is coming up really soon, as a dessert. Since you have to make a big meal and there's a lot to prepare for, you don't really have time to make a really fancy dessert. So this bundt cake is perfect since it doesn't take a lot of time, it's really easy to make, and you also don't have to decorate it, which again saves you so much time. This cake is very delicious, it still looks great, and it's also nice to share with a lot of people. So first we're going to combine our dry ingredients. I have some all-purpose flour here along with baking soda, baking powder, nutmeg and cinnamon, and some salt. Now if you want to, you don't have to use the specific spices here. They are optional, but they add so much flavor and it makes it so much more perfect for the fall time to make. You can also substitute this with pumpkin spice, which I do very often because pumpkin spice just has all the spices that you need to make this cake taste the way that it does. So I'm going to add this stuff into the all-purpose flour, baking soda, add the baking powder, salt, cinnamon, and just a pinch of nutmeg. Mix those all together. Alright, once that's done, just set it aside, and now we can combine our wet ingredients. So in a large bowl, I'm going to add in my brown and white sugar. And we're also going to add in the flavorless oil. And just mix that together. Then to that, crack in 2 eggs. Mix that through. Alright, once that's mixed through, we can now go on and chop our apples and mince the ginger. For the apples today, I'm using 2 apples. They're medium size, so it should be around 2 cups of apples. I'm going to chop them up into little cubes. Add that to the wet ingredients to prevent the apples from browning too much. Mix that in. Now for the ginger, you're going to need about 3 tablespoons. Now mince this as finely as you can. Use around 3 tablespoons of ginger, and it's best if you use fresh ginger. Lastly, coarsely chop up a little bit of walnuts to give this cake a nice crunch, but you can also choose to use pecans if you like. Mix all of the ingredients together. Combine the wet ingredients with the dry ingredients. You want to make sure you do this right before you pour it into the cake pan and bake it off. You never want to leave your batter out for too long without baking it. So I'm going to add my dry ingredients to the wet ingredients and fold that through. Be sure not to overmix. Just keep folding until there are no more dry bits of flour. The batter is now ready, so we can prepare the cake pan. I have a bundt pan here. You can use really any type of bundt pan. So to prevent the cake from sticking to the pan, make sure you spray on some cooking spray, or you can also just brush it with some oil. Now into the oven this goes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 40 to 45 minutes. The amount of time this has to bake for will depend on the size of your cake pan. Once baked, flip the cake onto a cooling rack and allow it to cool completely. Now that the cake has cooled, we're going to decorate it with just a little bit of icing sugar. This is one of the simplest ways you can decorate a cake to make it just look like you spent a little more time than you really did. You can make some cream cheese frosting if you like to, but again, the whole point of this cake is to save you time. So we're going to transfer this onto a serving platter. And then using a small sieve, just dust on the tiniest bit of icing sugar. Alright, so that's how you make this apple ginger bundt cake. This is a really easy cake to make. There are so little steps, so you can't really mess up on it. So it's great for any beginner bakers out there who want an easy cake to make. Again, it is perfect for the fall time. This cake is really delicious. It has lots of different textures with the crunchiness and the apples, and it also has lots of different flavors with the different spices and to the ginger. I rarely ever put ginger in any type of desserts, but the flavors really does balance well out in this cake. So really hope you can try this out. Thanks for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye!